want to say, okay, I'm going to wait till after my birthday because that's a good day to get started trying to learn this tech thing. Or you're going to say, oh, I got an old laptop. Let me wait till the newest Mac come out because I want to get a fresh laptop to learn this tech thing. Welcome to Debt Free in IT. I'm your host, Mike. This podcast is for anyone who's looking to get into the IT industry, whether it's for a career change or you're just interested. I think you come to the right place. In today's episode, we're looking at the 5 best traditional ways to get into IT. So in IT, there will always be a high demand in tech no matter what route you're going. So whether that be networking, whether that be cybersecurity, whether that be cloud, whether that be coding, whether that be software development, IT has a wide range of different fields and different paths you can go down. And I don't foresee any of those paths having a shortage in job roles in the future. With that being said, you may be someone that has been on the sidelines for a couple years. You want to get into the industry, but you may be stuck at trying to decide on which path may be the best for you. So today, we're going to cover 5 traditional routes for you to enter the IT industry. So before we get started, I want to know what are some of your biggest challenges within IT, whether you're trying to get into IT or you're already in the industry and you're trying to navigate your way through it. Let me know what are some of the biggest challenges that you're facing thus far. Let me know in the comments. So one of the first ways a lot of folks end up getting in the industry is by going out and obtaining an entry-level certification. So those entry-level certifications could be an A+, a Network Plus, a Security Plus. Cisco has the CCST certifications, the networking and security one, and also it could be the CCNA. So like I said, the CompTIA has the A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, also called the CompTIA Trifecta. The beauty about CompTIA certifications is that they are vendor neutral, meaning that they're not aiming towards one vendor, whereas Cisco, like I said, is mainly you're learning about Cisco technology, Cisco equipment, the way that Cisco wants you to do it. So with CompTIA, it's a broader range to get you that fundamental knowledge. So a lot of folks, like I said, I've seen folks enter the door with the A+. A lot of times A+ is good for a desktop type position, but you can come in help desk or IT support. And the same thing as well for Network Plus and Security Plus. So a lot of times with these entry-level certifications, the main objective is for them to get you inside the door. So once you get inside the door, let's say you got a Security Plus. That Security Plus may not garner you a security role, being that you don't have no experience. But what it could do is help you get inside of the door of a good organization doing something like help desk. Then once you get the experience of that Security Plus could then help you to move on to that cybersecurity position. So a lot of times these certs is what's going to help you get in the door and help you get started with your IT career. Now the CCNA, that's a kind of a different animal altogether. I list it as entry level because it is one of the certs that most people end up getting first. So this is usually a lot of folks' first certification that they get. Indeed, it was my first certification that I got. So, and it's what got me in the door at the organization I used to work for. And it's what helped me move up to that networking role at that same organization. So that CCNA, like I said, it's a special certification to me because it is possible to help you get started within your career. So any one of these entry-level certifications is capable of doing that. So once you get inside the door, you don't want to just stop there. So then you start to hone in on what particular position you want to do and which way you want to pivot within the IT industry. But like I said, my first one was the entry-level certifications, and that's one of the ways a lot of people have entered the IT industry. So the second way some people enter the industry is from gaining hands-on experience. So this hands-on experience can be gained a couple ways. So one of the first ways and one of the most popular ways is from someone having a hands-on lab or a home lab at their home, where you may have physical devices as well as virtual devices, and you're going through, you're labbing it up. You got lab books where you're following the labs, you're learning, you're doing some self-study. So this could be a physical lab or a virtual lab. And especially if whatever you're labbing up, when you go into an interview, you're able to talk that lingo and you're able to prove that you indeed know what you're talking about and you indeed have the skill set for that certain position. And then one of the other ways that some people get this hands-on experience is by volunteering. So a lot of times you can volunteer your services to people. You may have family, friends, you may have a local church, you may have a local community center, but you can volunteer your technical expertise to these jobs or to these places. And pretty much you help them out on the tech side of things. I knew one person who helped out a church, and they pretty much was that church's technical person. They helped the church to implement Wi-Fi within the church, a lot of other things within that church on the tech side. So all of this things that they was doing for that church, they could possibly add that on their resume as experience, because they're going through pretty much, they're implementing a project from beginning to the end. So volunteering, that's one way you can get that hands-on experience. Another way is internships. So internships, this is where you're able to go work for a corporation or organization, but you may be working either free or at a very, 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 very discounted rate. So, but what this does is it allows you to get that real world experience. That way, whenever you leave that internship or whenever your time is up there, either one or two things happen. The place you interned at end up hiring you, or you start throwing your resume back out there, except for now you're throwing your resume out there with some experience added to your resume. So I've seen this work very well for folks. A lot of times, if you're at a community college or something like that, a lot of times they offer internships. A lot of times you can contact different organizations and see if they have any kind of internships. This way, you may even also be able to, if you contact the organization and they don't have an internship, you may be able to ask them, can you be the first intern? Because basically, they don't really have to pay you. You know, you're just there to get their experience and see how things work. So this is done in a lot of industries too, not just the IT industry. So it's done in the radio industry. You know, it's done in the media industry. So it's also done in IT. It's just that a lot of times it's not very well advertised. So you're really not going to go to Indeed and see that, oh, we have this internship available. So you may see a couple of them, but you're not going to see a lot of them. But internships is another way to get that hands-on experience. And then another thing that you can do to get hands-on experience is also applying and just getting an entry-level job. So that job could be something like a help desk job. A lot of times help desk jobs, you can get those jobs with customer support experience. So if you're good at customer support, you done been in a lot of customer support roles. A lot of times you may be able to land this help desk role, or maybe even a tech support role, because a lot of times with those roles, as long as you got good customer support, most of those positions is going to have everything laid out to help you learn the position. They're going to have you following someone. They're going to have you shadowing with someone for so long before they turn you loose on your own. So you're going to have plenty of time to get trained. Similar to if you're doing a manual labor job and you first start that job, they're not going to throw you out there alone. They're going to have somebody train you up for 6 weeks. Then you're going to go out on your own. So the same thing could happen here in tech. You can go out, apply for one of these entry-level jobs like a help desk or operations, something like that that's very entry-level, to where they have everything laid out to train you up on it. That way, you may not come in with that technical skill set, but after they train you up and you get comfortable at that job, you now have a technical skill set that you can build upon. And then you may decide that, oh, let me go get this certification, or let me get this other certification because this is the route I want to go down. But the main thing is this has helped you to get inside the door. So gaining hands-on experience is another way that a lot of people get started in tech and get their foot in the door. So real quick, if you're enjoying this episode, get ready for my up-and-coming newsletter, The Log Files, a weekly newsletter to help you start your IT career with practical advice and tips, powered by yours truly. I will be launching it soon, and it'll be packed with actionable advice, resources, and insights to kickstart your IT journey. The link is in the description and also pinned in the comments, so don't miss out. Now back to the episode. So the third way a lot of people enter the IT industry, I like to call this building in public. So building in public, this is where you start to begin to document your journey. So if you're trying to transition into IT, this is where you start documenting your journey on that transition. It could be that, oh, I'm trying to decide what I like. You could start documenting your journey, whether that be through a blog, a video, post on your social media, post on LinkedIn. You start documenting that, oh, I've been trying out this IT course, or I tried out this project. And then as you find out what you really like, you start to hone in on it. Let's say it's networking. So you could go out, you're documenting your journey, you posting up different networking projects that you're doing. You could have trouble with a certain networking project. That way you can post up whatever you're having trouble with and just ask your community or ask your friends on that certain social site if they have any experience with it. That way people start to see that, oh, you're locked in. People start to see that and people start to notice it. So this is where, like I said, if it's websites, setting up networks, if you're coding, this could be a project you built and you share your GitHub link so other people can go in and see that project. A lot of times I really think LinkedIn is probably the best place to do something like this at, because LinkedIn, especially for the tech world, because LinkedIn has a lot of tech professionals on LinkedIn. So a lot of times you can get a lot of feedback from those tech professionals. So I've seen plenty of people that start off their journey, and from then to now, it's like night and day. You see some of them where they went from a whole different industry, and now they may be a network engineer at a large organization, or they may be a security engineer at a large organization. So building in public is one of the ways that you can get into the IT industry. So the next traditional way that you can get into the industry is to network with other IT professionals. So sometimes in this world, it's not what you know, but it's who you know. So networking with different IT professionals, a lot of times you never know who you're rubbing shoulders with. So you could be at a workshop, you could be at a meetup, you could be at a conference. Like I said, go out, introduce yourself to people, and just kind of build that rapport with them, because you never know who you're talking to. You could be talking to your next hiring manager. You could be talking to your next supervisor, or you could make friends and stay in contact. And then that way, if that friend that you just made, something comes along that they know it's up your alley, a lot of times they'll give you that chance to show up and show out. So like I said, networking with other IT professionals. Then also you can start to seek different mentors or peers. So for me, that's one of the routes I kind of went to, because every position I held, I pretty much, someone in that position became my mentor. Where when I was in desktop, a lot of times, a lot of the guys down there had been down there way longer than me. They became my mentors. So then when I went to networking, my networking team became my mentor. So I was the lowest person there. You know, I was in a team full of engineers. So I had plenty of people that could mentor me and show me how things is done the correct way. So a lot of times I learned very well that way, because I'm studying with people that's been doing this position for multiple years. So they've been doing it for multiple years, where the position may not be too much, too hard for them now. The position may be pretty easy for them, but for me just getting started, you know, the position is scaring me. So I'm studying with them. And like I said, I'm learning how they do things. They starting to make things look easy for me. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm catching on. So like I said, network with other IT professionals, even professionals that you may not even have close contact to, because like I said, with social media, you can build up rapport with almost anyone now. So if you see someone that's doing something interesting and they're in a position you would like to be in, send them that inbox and, you know, see what's up with them. You know, start to build that conversation, start to build that rapport. And you never know. A lot of times you could have an issue and that person may end up being the one to help you solve that issue, or that person may end up being the one to look out for you with another position or another role that they know of. So like I said, because a lot of times in tech right now, a lot of jobs are becoming remote. So you're not really honed in to, you got to find something in your town anymore. It's very possible to find something remote if you're in the tech world. So like I said, going to these workshops, networking with other professionals, find you a mentor, you know, that way somebody you got that can kind of school you as you come up, someone that's in a spot that you would like to be, you know what I'm saying, kind of find you someone like that can help you grow as they grow and help you become better within your situation. And then my last way that a lot of people get into the tech industry, this is almost a no-brainer. So this is either enrolling in a school for a degree or doing a boot camp, or maybe taking some online courses. So like I said, a lot of people go for the degree route. Like I said, that's a perfect route, because a lot of times that school is going to have everything laid out for you. All you got to do is show up for the classes. So they're going to have everything laid out from the beginner classes all the way to your specialization classes. So you can start for a cybersecurity degree, you can start for a networking degree, and your classes is laid out for you. So that makes things easy to go down. And then also when you leave, a lot of times you'll end up leaving with that degree as well as some certifications, because a lot of them now, they're able to provide you where you can test for different certifications depending on the class that you just took. So that degree route is one of the most popular routes also. And then you have boot camps. So right now they got boot camps on almost anything tech. But for me, I'm old school. So I don't have a lot of experience with a networking boot camp, a cybersecurity boot camp. I don't really have a lot of experience in that. But I grew up knowing that the coding boot camps was pretty legit. So if you're going for like anything coding, software development, somewhere along those ways where you're working with different languages and things like that, sometimes if you can afford a boot camp, so they are expensive. If you can afford one, like I said, do your due diligence on it. But I've heard a lot of people who have got their start within the industry by going through a boot camp or a coding boot camp. Now, for the other boot camps, like I said, I can't really speak on them because, like I said, I hear mixed reviews on a lot of them. But a lot of times, a good coding boot camp, usually they're going to be pretty legit. And then the last one, of course, is like an online course. This is where you go to maybe a CBT Nuggets or Udemy. This is where you can go in and let's say that I want to transition to networking. I can order a subscription from CBT Nuggets, start going down the CCNA route, learn some networking. Even now with CBT Nuggets, they even have where they have the labs embedded inside the course. So you can go in there, you can do the labs. They do a walkthrough of the lab, things like that. So you have the enrolling in a boot camp, doing an online course, or signing up for a degree. So those are the last traditional ways to get in IT. So just to sum things up, so there's multiple ways to enter the IT industry. The main thing is deciding which route you want to go and then pick one and see it through. A lot of times we often get what I like to call analysis paralysis. I've been guilty of it. I'm pretty sure you might have been guilty of it, where you want everything to be right. You want everything to fall in the right place before you get started. You want to say, okay, I'm going to wait till after my birthday because that's a good day to get started trying to learn this tech thing. Or you're going to say, oh, I got an old laptop. Let me wait till the newest Mac come out because I want to get a fresh laptop to learn this tech thing. So 9 times out of 10, nothing's never going to be right. With anything you do, a lot of times nothing is never going to fall in place. With anything I've did, eventually I just had to take that step. Eventually you're going to have to take that step and just trust the process and know that everything is going to be okay. Because 9 times out of 10, everything is never going to line up. Time you figure out that, oh, let me get this new laptop. Time you get that laptop, you're going to come up with another excuse. You're going to say, oh, okay, it's summertime. Let me wait till the fall starts back. Then I'm going to go back to school. And then fall comes back. You're going to say, oh, I don't know if I can do this because they didn't have any online classes. I don't want to go into it. So you're going to always find something that's going to hold you back. The main thing, like I said, take that first step, pick that path, see it through. See it through. And I guarantee when you come out on the end, everything will be okay. So that brings me to the end of this episode. Hopefully you found some value in this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, you can follow me at DebtFriendIT. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at debtfriendit@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, debtfrienditwithmike.com. Other than that, I'll see you next week. Peace.